Hey everyone, so a lot of my family members have started to get into pickleball. So today I thought it'd be a cool idea to teach my father-in-law how to play pickleball for the first time. All right, so this is my father-in-law, Robert. Welcome to pickleball. We're gonna cover everything you need to know as a beginner from pickleball, so you're ready to get started in playing.
Let's do it.
First things first, we're gonna talk about what equipment we need. For me, when I teach beginners, I'm like, spend as little as possible. You don't need to buy the fanciest paddles. Just get a regular paddle from Amazon or something. But I saw your shoes, and that is something I do want to talk about because I noticed you came in running shoes. If anything you're gonna spend money on, first guys, make sure you get tennis shoes, or better yet, pickleball shoes. They're pretty similar, but tennis shoes will do just fine. The reason is, running shoes is designed to run forward, so a lot of forward support, but not a lot of lateral support. Tennis shoes are designed for lateral support, and it's good for this kind of gritty court surface. When I first started, I made the mistake of playing in only running shoes. I kid you not, Maggie behind the camera knows, I lost both my pinky toenails in 1 month. Both of them. It was terrible, so don't make my mistake. Definitely get some nice tennis or pickleball shoes. All right, now the next thing is paddles. When you're a beginner, you don't really know what you're looking for, so it doesn't make that much sense to spend a bunch of money on higher end paddles. So I just say, get a cheap one, and as you get along, look up Pickleball Studio, a bunch of paddle reviewers out there, and you can look into paddles, but when you get started, just buy a cheap paddle. First thing that I'm gonna teach you is how to hold a pickleball paddle. When I first started playing, no one taught me, so I just held it like how I would for ping pong. So I spent the first 6 months of pickleball just doing this, and I got really good at this, but I started getting better. People started hitting on this side, and I didn't know how to hit that. So I'm gonna teach you a grip to hold your paddle that gives you good access to your forehand side and your backhand side. So the handshake grip is basically hold your paddle in front like this, pretending like you're about to shake someone's hand. So hey, nice to meet you. So whatever way that you're shaking someone's hand, that's just about the grip that you want. I won't get too into continental, eastern, western grip. Just pretend like you're about to shake someone's hand.
Got it.
Now stick your hand out so it's like this.
All right.
Okay? Your grip strength should be about 3 out of 10. So pretty relaxed.
All right.
So if I took this paddle away from you, I should be able to do it pretty easily.
Okay.
If I have a hard time taking that away from you, you're probably holding it too hard. You don't really want to hold it like a hammer. You kind of want to hold it like you would like a pencil. Just very gentle, like a brush, because we're making art over here.
And God bless, my friend.
If a ball is coming at the center of your body, bingo. That's the backhand. A lot of beginners, for some reason, they try to protect the center of their body with their forehand, and they kind of, our elbows can't go into our body. So they kind of do something like this, and they pop the ball up, or they hit the ball into the net.
Got it.
So what you did very naturally is your backhand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like to tell my students, if the ball is coming at the center of my body, I'm gonna use my paddle like a shield. So you keep it out in front here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best way to protect yourself is don't even let this ball come close to you. Come close to you, boom, block it in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's coming to the left side of you, over here, or the right side of you, yes, that's your forehand side.
Okay.
And then if it's coming on this side, again, it's your backhand.
Yep.
So you'll notice that you actually use your backhand quite a bit. So in this lesson, I'm gonna kind of get your backhand a little bit more comfortable because it covers 70%.
Right.
It covers the center of your body and the left side of your body if you're a righty. And for this little 30%, we use our forehand. So
got it.
We're gonna be very backhand focused.
Which seems odd to me because this is the strongest position.
Yes.
So when you're hitting at somebody, try to always hit it on this side because it's weaker, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's come all the way over here and I'll explain the court layout and what all these lines mean.
Okay.
So what makes pickleball unique is this line right here. You've probably heard it 1,000 times on social media. This is the kitchen.
Okay.
And basically...
And this is the living room.
Exactly. Living room, kitchen.
Got it.
This right here basically just means I am not allowed to hit the ball out of the air and be inside here.
Can you have 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
So if I am like this and someone gives me this ball and I do that, this is a fault and that's their point.
So you can't be in there at all.
For a volley.
For a volley.
And so
if it bounces, then you can come in?
Correct, but I'm gonna add another thing on that.
Okay.
Because you could actually come in before it bounces. Meaning, if they're hitting and I think they're gonna hit softly, I could go in and anticipate the ball.
But you gotta let it bounce.
You gotta let it bounce if you want to hit it.
Okay.
Right?
All
so
right.
a lot of people, a lot of beginners, they get this notion that this is hot lava and they're like never allowed in here.
Okay.
So they get that ball over there and they're like, ooh, you know, they kind of do that.
Yeah.
But that's not true. The kitchen just means non-volley zone. It just means I can't smack balls out of the air like I would in tennis. In tennis, I would just stay over here and smash all day long.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I want to hit the ball out of the air, I have to stand behind here. But if they hit this, I can do that.
Okay.
So as long as it bounces, I can hit it while being inside the kitchen.
Okay. What if you are in the kitchen and you hit it and your paddle hits the net? Is that a fault or not?
That's a good question. That is a fault, yeah.
Okay.
Our paddles aren't allowed to touch the net.
Okay.
So now that we know this is the kitchen, this right here is known as the transition zone.
Okay, it's not the living room.
Yeah, not the living room, but I like that better actually. In tennis, they call this no man's land.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be here in tennis. In pickleball, it's kind of half true. For pickleball, we have to be here in order for us to get up there.
Right.
So it's not that we don't want to be here, it's we have to be here to transition up.
Okay.
Okay? Because in tennis, you could play an entire game while just being from the baseline and never going up.
Got it.
But in pickleball, and this is going to be part of the strategies, we really want to be up here. This is like front row seat, and I'm going to show you in a second, because when we're up here, we get any ball up here, we just smash the living bejeebers out of it, and we win the point. It feels really good. I'll give you that experience in a second.
So just to recap, kitchen, transition area, out of bounds probably is what you call that, right? It's called out of bounds.
Correct.
And what's it called back there?
Baseline.
Baseline, just like in tennis.
Just like in tennis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I guess there's that one situation where if you happen to have and you come out here and hit it, are you considered in the kitchen?
Ah, that's a good point. You're asking the good questions. Yeah. So that is a more advanced theme. That is called an Erne. And that is
an Erne?
An Erne.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically I told you, if I have a ball right here, I can't go boom, boom, right? Because that would be a fault. I volleyed a ball and was in the kitchen.
Right.
But what you can do is boom, boom. And if I jump out, I'm not in the kitchen.
Okay.
So that is called an Erne. It's a little bit of a higher level tactic that requires some athleticism, because typically what happens is I see this ball here and I really want to hit it. I'll hit it and then I'll jump out.
Okay. So the kitchen is truly defined by this, not, it's within these lines.
Correct.
But they include the lines.
Yes.
So if you do an Erne, you got to make sure your foot does not touch the line at all.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on that note, I can't jump here and here. Meaning, let me say that one more time. If I get a ball here and I jump here and then I hit, even though at the moment of contact that I hit the ball, I'm not touching any of the lines, because my takeoff was off this line, that takeoff puts a little timestamp of what I'm hitting.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's good.
So now I'll go over serving. So the rules, when you're serving, you want to serve cross court, and you have to serve into the other rectangle over there.
The transitional area rectangle.
Exactly.
Got it.
Transitional area to the baseline.
Okay.
And it has to land past the kitchen. If it hits the kitchen line, it's short and that's out.
Okay.
If it hits any other line, the middle one, the sideline, the baseline, that's in.
But the kitchen line.
The kitchen line
is
I
part of the
cannot
kitchen.
hit for my serve.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
How many chances do you get to do that?
Just one.
Okay.
So there's two different types of serves. There's a drop serve and a volley serve. A drop serve is when, as it sounds, I drop it and then I hit.
Okay.
That is like the one I recommend for most beginners. It's very easy to repeat. Drop the ball,
Boom.
hit it, and get it over the net.
All right.
The other type of serve is a volley serve. This one's a bit more complicated because there's a long plethora list of rules. I cover that in a different video. But the volley serve is basically, I'm gonna toss it and then I'm gonna hit it without letting it touch the floor.
Okay.
But there's some rules to that.
Okay.
If you're doing a volley serve, at the moment of contact, two things. This top part right here of your paddle can't be above my wrist. So this, I can't hit like this.
Okay.
I don't really know why you would, but it's in the rule book. Number two is I have to go in a low to high motion.
Okay.
You have to hit below the waist, which
Oh, you have to?
Yes, for the volley serve.
For the volley
This is
serve.
only for the volley serve.
So what they're really doing is eliminating the tennis
Yes,
hit,
exactly.
which can get very powerful.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so this part we'll talk about scoring.
Okay.
Okay. So scoring is the hardest part about pickleball. There's a lot of confusion on the scoring. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it to you in like 60 seconds. There's 3 numbers that you hear out for pickleball. For now, let's just forget about that third number.
Okay.
This is my favorite way of teaching it because that third number just short circuits people's brains. They're like, oh, what about the 004, the 002? Just forget about the third number.
All right.
You call out your score and then your opponent's score.
Okay.
Let's just think about that.
All right.
Okay. So if we're playing pickleball, we start off at 0-0.
Okay.
I hit one, I hit a sweet winner on my serve, and we get a point. So now you and I, we switch sides. So now I call the score again, 1-0. And I hit it and I score another winner, 2-0, and we switch again. Okay, I'm gonna hit another one.
Okay.
Let's just say I miss it.
Yep.
I miss it on my serve. My opponents don't get a score.
Okay.
We
It's like
only
volleyball.
score.
They gotta earn it
Bingo,
first.
exactly.
Okay. Yep.
And pickleball is like volleyball. We only score on the serving
serve.
side, right?
Yep. Got it.
So that's
That
just
makes
it.
sense.
So if I hit into the net, now you get to serve. Both you and I get to serve before it goes to the other team.
Oh, it doesn't automatically. Okay,
Yeah.
so in other words, if they get they don't get the point, but let's say we lose the point, we don't get a point.
Yep.
What you've really done is sacrificed your serve.
Yep. Remember how I just scored 2 points in my imaginary scenario?
Okay.
And I lost it. Now you serve.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So wherever I was standing during that last serve,
Yes.
that's where I take over.
Correct.
Okay.
So let's say this, you're serving now.
Yep.
You serve,
Yep.
and you hit a sweet winner. We win the point. Now we switch.
And I call out because I'm responsible for calling out the score.
Yes.
As the person who's serving.
Yep.
I would say then it's 3-0.
Exactly.
Okay. What if I make a mistake and I call out the wrong score? Do I get penalized for that because I'm older than you and I can't remember things?
That's a good question. In recreational play, no one is gonna be like, oh my God, you called out the wrong score, like give us a point. They shouldn't do that. If they do, you might need to find some new friends. In professional pickleball, they have a referee calling out the score.
Okay.
But in our case, it's pickleball. We're here to have fun. There's some grace.
Okay. All right. That sounds good because this is all about fun.
Exactly.
Okay. If you're not having fun doing it,
Why are you playing pickleball?
Fine,
Go play tennis.
right, do something else. Exactly.
So are you ready for the third number? There's a third number in pickleball that's called out, and this confuses the bejeebers out of everyone.
Okay.
But I'm going to simplify it so that you'll never get confused about the third number again.
Okay.
That third number is simply to indicate whether you and I've both served. That's all that third number is.
Okay.
So what you hear is either a 1 or a 2. You would be a 1 when you're the first server.
Okay.
And then after, let's say we lose the point, you're a 1, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a 2, so now I get to serve
Right.
as a 2.
Okay.
So now I serve, and let's say we lose the point. After this 2, we lose the point, their team gets to serve now.
Okay.
So that third number is just to keep track of whether you've served and I've served. So let's do a recap since I know scoring can be really confusing in pickleball. At the start of the game, the score is called out as 0-0-2, meaning only one player gets to serve before the side out happens. This is to help make it fair because it's advantageous to be the team to start serving. Number 2, you start serves from the right side at the start of the game and upon side outs. Number 3, you only switch serving sides with your partner if your team scored a point. And last but not least, just remember that the first 2 scores are the most important. If you're struggling with remember whether you're the first or second server, honestly, just call out the first 2 scores.
Do we go to 50? 5?
Yeah.
15?
we
Wait,
play-
21? No, 11.
11.
11.
There we go. We played 11.
And with my grandson, all I heard at the end is he goes, "You've just been pickled." What's that mean?
He was being mean to you. That's what that means.
Means what?
He was being mean to you. That's what that means. So being pickled means you got 11-0.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
No, not good.
Okay.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that never happens to you again. But I'm gonna give you like the basic TLDR, the 101, just basic things what you need to know.
Okay.
And I mentioned this before, but essentially, whoever is up at the net has a major advantage, huge advantage. However, there's a catch to that. In pickleball, it's different than tennis. In tennis, you can serve and then rush up to the net. That's what you would think you would do because you're like, Ed just told me to get to the net. Why wouldn't I just serve and rush up to the net?
Right.
It's because pickleball has this really weird, interesting rule called the 2-bounce rule. That basically means the ball has to bounce twice before anybody is allowed to volley it, meaning hit it out of the air.
Not twice on one side, because obviously
Twice total.
Right. It can only bounce once on one side, otherwise it's
Correct.
a point.
Yes.
So you're saying bounce once on that side, bounce once on this side.
Correct.
And
Yes.
then people can rush up.
Yes.
Both people rush up, or just is the strategy one person rush up?
So that's what we're gonna get to right now.
Okay.
So, because I know the ball has to bounce once there and once here before anyone is allowed to volley it. So let's just say this here. I'm serving. If I hit a serve, my opponent can't just hit that out of the air. They have to let it bounce.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Now, when they hit it to us, we also have to let it bounce.
But they're rushing to the net.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what this ends up meaning is the returners have a gigantic advantage. Huge advantage. So they basically have a head start. A lot of beginners, what's going to happen is you serve it to them, they're going to hit it, and they're going to stay back here. But you're not a beginner. You're an edu prodigy.
Right. Well, the thing is that if you stand back here, you've got to cover a lot of ground.
Bingo. That's exactly why.
You go up there, and just the angle is, the distance is smaller.
Yes,
Right? Okay.
I'm glad you said that because that's exactly what I was going to note on why we want to get up there. We'll get into that in a second. So here's something. Here's the saying that is going to help you remember: serve and stay. SS.
Okay.
Serve and stay.
Okay.
Let's flip the script now. Return and run.
Oh, that's pretty good.
SSRR. So that's you
an
memorize
edu
that.
special right
You are
there.
instantly going to be a 3-0 in pickleball if you can remember that. This is
Okay.
like 99% of getting into 3-0 is remembering that.
What do you mean
Serve.
getting a 3-0?
Oh, 3-0 is a level of pickleball.
Oh,
It's like the
okay.
intermediate level of pickleball.
What's the beginner level?
2-0.
2-0?
Yeah.
Doesn't start at 1.
Nope.
Starts at 2.
Starts at
What's
2.
it go up to?
Ben Johns is the highest one. He's like 7.2. There's a theoretical 8, but it's theoretical. It would mean
7.2. Who decides that?
This is Duper. So Duper is the universal rating system for pickleball. This is basically the ELO system of pickleball. It's like the algorithm that calculates the wins and losses.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we're ready to play some pickleball.
Really? All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You want to start?
Why not?
Okay.